This video is brought to you by Colgate Lasagna. Colgate Lasagna makes your breath smell so bad, people will look forward to your farts. Colgate Lasagna, available at all bad retailers everywhere. To be honest, obtaining concrete data on the world's best-selling watches is like trying to find the recipe to KFC's secret herbs and spices. Watch brands are about as transparent with their sales figures as FIFA are with the World Cup bidding process. With one of the main issues being whether to count individual models or all variants of a particular watch, meaning that figures can be skewed to suit any narrative. Thankfully, there is sufficient evidence from various sources which one can use to come up with a list that many people would find difficult to argue with. So I headed off to Baker Street, had a quick coffee at Speedy's, gathered my crack team of sleuths, including my shady contact in the underworld, which you know as my mate Dino, and set about gathering intelligence. Based on our findings, I present to you, dear viewers, 7 watches which are regarded as the world's best-selling. Let's go, scallywags! Coming in at number 7 is a timeless classic, the Rolex Datejust, which is a versatile, reliable and prestigious watch, and a Rolex you can buy without the need to sell a kidney. While Rolex doesn't release official numbers, the Datejust is one of the company's best-selling watches, with the Lady Datejust being one of the most popular models due to its 500 plus variants. The watch can have a possible 6-month wait time, even longer if the Rolex dealer considers you are not worthy. Maybe you wore Crocs to your appointment. In saying that, it is at least easier to obtain than the Submariner and Daytona, which require both a blood oath and your firstborn child just to sniff the case. This is Rolex's bread and butter watch, and while not every model is a classic, its mass appeal puts it at number 7 on this prestigious list. Rolex are so notoriously secretive about their production numbers that their spokesman is Teller. And yet for their 70-year celebrations, they must have had too much to drink at the party, because they suddenly released sales figures for the Submariner, putting its sales around the 4 million mark. The Rolex Submariner is a legendary dive watch, renowned for its robust construction, timeless design and exceptional functionality. Its iconic status stems from its pioneering role in deep-sea exploration, having been the first dive watch to achieve a 100-meter water resistance rating. Its enduring design has remained largely unchanged for decades, and is a testament to its timelessness and functionality. This combination of ruggedness, style and heritage has cemented the Rolex Submariner's place as one of the world's most coveted and respected watches. If every single Submariner magically reappeared and hit the resale market, we'd be talking around $46 billion. Of course, if this ever happened, even Rolex prices would probably take a bit of a nosedive. Imagine the chaos. Honey, I sold my Submariner. For how much? A tenner and a packet of magic beans.
It was this packet of beans.
The impact of the Rolex Submariner can be summed up in this comment from Cool Ricky, who told me that, though it's not my favourite Rolex, either because of the history of the watch, I feel it validated me as a watch collector. Who needs to tell the time anyway, Cool Ricky? It's a Rolex. Swatch have made colourful plastic watches for over 40 years, sitting comfortably in their lane and knowing their place in the horological hierarchy. While enjoying their fair share of ups and downs, they suddenly decided that they wanted to better themselves and hang out with the posh kids. Enter the MoonSwatch, which when it launched, fancy pants analyst Morgan Stanley predicted that it would sell around 500,000 units. Swatch were like, "Hold my beer please, Morgan," and went out and sold over 5 million units. Talk about flexing. And get this, initially you could only buy this watch in person, at specific stores. This strategy also created artificial scarcity, long lines and wet patches in every scalper's undies from here to the men's section at Walmart. The watch has more versions than the movie Blade Runner, because why not print money? Sales of the MoonSwatch began to slow down in 2024, so the company allowed the rest of us mere mortals to buy select versions online. Oh thank you Swatch, we are not worthy. The MoonSwatch was a sales phenomenon, a social media hype storm, and proof that people will queue for hours to buy a plastic ceramic watch if it has a luxury badge on it, and looks vaguely like its much more expensive cousin. Marketing genius or mass delusion? You decide. The Seiko 5 has so many family members that listing them all would be like organising a watch family reunion on Ancestry.com. Counting every member of this extended Seiko 5 family felt a little unfair, but even if you just counted the original Sportsmatic 5, which was born in 1963, you would still get your membership into the 7-figure club, if such a club actually existed. While Seiko doesn't publish production figures, experts appear to agree that they pump out about 5 million watches a year, with a large portion of these being the Seiko 5. The Seiko 5 line is known for its wide range of styles, excellent quality, and the best bang for your buck in-house automatic movements, all at a price which is less than some brands charge for their quartz models. This watch is the horological equivalent of a reliable, slightly quirky, but ultimately awesome friend who never lets you down. I love you Seiko 5, come around for afternoon tea, we will have crumpet. The rock star of the watch world, the famous and equally robust cousin of our second place entry, is the Casio G-Shock. Casio celebrated their 100 millionth watch back in 2017, which not only gave us sales figures at the time, but also included every single model ever made, including the bubblegum baby Gs to the fancy pants Mr. Gs, which cost more than a zombie's dental plan. Obviously, this total has been far surpassed since 2017, which is testament to the G-Shock's toughness, reliability, affordability, and style. G-Shocks have become a fashion statement, embraced by multiple subcultures across the globe. The G-Shock's coolness is enhanced by their collaboration with fashionistas, designers, cross-brands, and cultural icons, and there are a few serious watch enthusiasts who don't have at least one of these watches in their collection. In fact, I would go as far as to say if you don't know a single person who owns a G-Shock, you either live in a cave, or you are in fact a very intelligent primate who happens to watch YouTube between bouts of scratching your butt in public. The G-Shock sits comfortably at the magic number of 3 on our list. Coming in at number 2 will be a watch that is of no surprise to those in the know. And of course I'm talking about the F91W, with Casio cranking out over 3 million of these $30 bad boys every year. That's enough F91Ws to equip the entire population of Alderaan. Although to be fair, one watch would be enough these days, considering past events in that part of the galaxy. While the classic black is the de facto choice for most watch enthusiasts, Casio have been tripping the like fantastic recently, releasing a horde of colour options matched only by that of a carpet pizza, including hot pink, safety orange, and one which can only be described as Chernobyl green. With its distinct 80s aesthetic, the watch has become iconic, with a simple, unassuming design that has aged well and is still loved by watch enthusiasts to this day, with the F91W often being someone's first ever watch. It is also way tougher than it has any right to be for that price, offering an incredible combination of value, functionality, durability and style, which just works and sits at number 2 on our list. While you may consider this to be a piece of shit, to a fly, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Now if you are grossed out by the look of shit, please look away. 10 seconds ago. My point is that it is all about perspective. The best-selling watch of all time, the Apple Watch, may not be considered a watch by many enthusiasts, but that doesn't stop it being so for over 300 million owners of this watch. The watch is the equivalent of someone who gatecrashes your party uninvited and then acts like they organised it. Timepieces were around long before the Apple Watch, and in their typical fashion, Apple took something they did not invent, threw a mountain of cash and innovation at it, and now act like they reinvented the watch, which fans would argue they did. Many watch purists hate the Apple Watch and point to its lack of soul and heritage, seeking solace in the argument that it is not a watch, it's a computer. But, and it's a big but, with over 300 million units sold and almost triple that of the second place Casio F91W, it sits firmly at number 1 on the best-selling watch list of all time, and is the de facto timepiece of choice for so many people around the globe. To counter watch enthusiasts' argument about the watch's lack of artistry, history and craftsmanship, Apple Watch fans point to the range of benefits it brings for the wearer, with a primary focus on convenience, health and connectivity. While I don't own one personally, any device which encourages you to get off the couch or can save your life in an emergency should be applauded. Some will always view the Apple Watch as a pathway to abilities some consider to be unnatural. Others see it as the one who will bring balance to the Force. But we all know how both sides of those arguments turned out. Today's Facebook members watch is from Clayton Pollard in Adelaide, Australia, who sent me these photos of his Apple Watch, aka the best-selling wrist computer in the world. The interesting backstory about these photos is that Clayton had to find and charge the watch because he had not worn it for almost 9 months. He felt a strong disturbance in the Force after joining one of our watch groups, and he went out and bought himself a funky Seiko. Welcome back, Clayton. The Force is strong with you, young Padawan. Until the next time.